Oh, you caught me, sorry. I don't mean to spook you, but it's frightful what sugar can do to your teeth. The effects can haunt your smile for years to come. So how do you scare off the tricks that treats can play on your sweet tooth? We've conjured up dentist Steve Marsh to help us break the spell sugar casts. Thanks for joining us, Steve.
My pleasure, Armand, as usual.
How do we, you know, we talk about sweets each year at Halloween, but you know, sugar, why is it so scary?
Well, not only the stickiness, but there's a very simple equation, even for our guests who don't know math very well. And in all of our mouths, there's bacteria. In fact, over 700 different types. That plus the sugars we eat, the bacteria breaks down the sugar and produces an acid. And that's part one of the equation. And the second part is that acid, those repeated attacks, added to the enamel will cause tooth decay. And that's how decay happens. And one of the worst things you can have is a Tootsie Roll, quite frankly, because it's not only sugary but very sticky, and it holds that sugar to the tooth.
I would never eat a Tootsie Roll. Okay,
Yeah, right.
So you're not just talking about candy, though. Also, you're talking about other things that have sugar? What about like cereal?
Well, cereals are very sugary ones, are not good for your teeth. They are also very sticky. Even things like fruit juices. There's a big problem also.
Healthy fruit juice?
Healthy fruit juices. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the fruit juice, but afterwards it's important to brush and keep the sugars off your teeth. Another thing that's a big problem today with both seniors and young people are things like Gatorade. There's a lot of sugar in Gatorade. In fact, we had a patient recently, a young person, who had so much Gatorade, he was a great athlete, that he actually pretty much destroyed his teeth. He came in with about 14 cavities.
What about dry mouth? We see that with older people.
It's a very big problem today. One of the things that happens is people who have diabetes have dry mouth as a consequence. Some of the blood pressure medicines also cause dry mouth. And then, to further complicate things, many people will suck on lozenges. That's okay as long as they're sugar-free, but lozenges that have sugar in them are something we really have to avoid. So those of our patients and viewers who have dry mouth, you always want to keep it moist with water. And one of the other issues today is bottled water. Bottled water doesn't have fluoride in it. So we're better off with Cleveland tap water than we are with bottled water.
Now, you brought a treat bag for us. What do you have in your treat bag? And I hope it's as good as these Tootsie Rolls.
No, it's quite different. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying the Halloween candy one day, but just brushing and flossing. You know, we talked about moisture. We have these gums. In fact, we give them in our office, and your viewers are welcome to that. But it's a sugarless, sugar-free gum. It keeps your mouth moist, keeps your mouth busy. Even things like lip gloss, and we have some lip gloss that we can give to patients that also keep the lips from drying out. And then let me hold these two items up. People can go out to eat and maybe they haven't flossed. This is an already loaded floss. It's great for patients and those mature people in our audience who have trouble flossing. It's preloaded floss. And then when food gets caught between the teeth, there's this sort of brush, because as we mature, the gums recede and we need to get that food out from between teeth, another common place where decay occurs.
Now let's say there's already a problem. We are past that, and now we got decay.
Well, I have some pictures of some patients we've taken
I thought you might.
And they're almost frightful pictures. I mentioned about this young boy, 18 years old, great athlete, drank Gatorade all the time, had braces on for 4 years, didn't clean his teeth well. That's before. You can see decalcification, that's the beginning of decay. You can see some teeth that have it. The during is after I've cleaned out the decay. We also use a dye so that I want to make sure, and every dentist should make sure that all the decay's out. You can see the receptacle from that, and now we've restored those teeth in the upper arch with bonding material. And it works very well. You can still see some lesions that we didn't address yet in the lower, but that's what happens from decay. This is a woman who came to me. She was in her mid-50s. She never smiled. She was ashamed of her teeth. She brought her daughters in religiously and took care of them and didn't on her own. That's decay at the gum line. You can see literally what happens. It destroys the enamel. It turns dark and gets very soft.
That is scary.
It is. And a couple of those teeth we took out and then restored them with a bridge. And another gentleman, a very interesting guy, very outgoing, was a salesperson. And he let his teeth go, also took care of his family. He was about our age group, and we restored those. A couple of them had to be removed. We did an all complete bridge and some porcelain veneers on the bottom to restore a smile. But again, we can restore it, but really the key is prevention, so let's keep that Tootsie Roll down here. But if you do have a Tootsie Roll, enjoy it, but immediately after you want to brush, because there's 30 minutes of acid time that we want to eliminate if we can.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome, Armin.
All right, so you already know sweets can play tricks on your teeth. The real trick is to treat them better. My thanks to Steve for this frightfully good information. We'll be back.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, driving home safety for seniors.